Okay, this one is really problematic. And you're going to run into cases like this. And, I wouldn't do this until I were advanced, and then I would charge extra for it. So anyway, once again, you have a situation of one brow, and these are previously tattooed. So the red hash mark area shows the previous tattoo. One is higher than the other. And this one ends lower than the other. It's kind of hard to tell from the photograph, even the one that I didn't blow up. But the point, again, is to get as much of the previous tattoo inside of the outline according to the golden ratio. And so I measured everything out. So once again, I just measured the length of the entire brow. And basically, in order for me to even get to this arch, I had to make the brow be, and this is a enlarged photo, but somewhat over 10 centimeters long. And then I divided that by the 1.61 golden ratio and came up with this length of about 6.7 centimeters up to the arch on both sides. Then this one this one needs to be tweaked a little bit, but I had already written it in pen, so we're just going to pretend it's correct. And that we've got 0.1, 0.4, 0.2, and 0.3. So once you have all of that planned out, with as much of the original tattoo inside as you can, and there will always be some that you can't get. Like right here, this appears to be tattoo that is not fitting inside the outline, and that's just going to be the case. So there's three things wrong, or not wrong, challenging with this particular client. So number one, she has pre-existing tattoo. Number two, the two existing tattoos are very uneven. So just uneven brows, I'll put. Actually, she's got 4 problems, so sorry about that. 4, it's obvious to me from looking at this photo that she has an extended forehead. It's kind of a male type forehead. So the brow bone is sticking out quite a bit, and the ocular area itself is deep. So her forehead is extending more over her eye than is typical in most women. So she has a protruding forehead. And the third thing is, which I've circled here, she has super duper strong procerus muscles. Fourth thing. Very strong. How can I tell they're strong? Because I'm looking at these creases here, and I can just tell. So I'm feeling these. When you go to work on her, feel this. It's going to feel like a big bump. Plus she has these horizontal wrinkles, but the reason that they are sloping downward, you see how they're sloping down, is because when you have super strong procerus muscles, it causes a depressing effect and it pushes things down. So even her own horizontal muscles are being pushed down by that procerus muscle. So Normally, if a person came to me with no pre-existing tattoo, I would deal with this entirely differently, which I will go into in a different lesson. But the bottom line is that when someone has a strong procerus muscle and they're not entertaining Botox, which is their priority or their prerogative, you do not want a very you want to have a flat brow. You want to minimize, like I would, normal circumstances, really kind of not even come down this far. I wouldn't make 0.4 all the way down here. I would really try to keep it just barely slanting up. But because this one is she has pre-existing tattoo all the way down to this level, and I really don't know what else is going on there as far as her own hair and whatnot. She really has a challenging situation. So, you know, in a separate lesson, I will explain with the virgin brows how to deal with the procerus muscle. But what you first have to do is get the majority of the pre-existing tattoo inside of your outline, like I've done here. You will rarely be able to get all of it inside. So that is step one, is to draw your outline using the golden ratio to incorporate as much of the pre-existing tattoo as you can into your design. Okay. And at the same time, you're dealing with the uneven brows by, you have to start where this one is the highest. And in this case, the highest one is also the lowest one. So that is at least, except at the tail area. But that's at least one good thing. But that I explained in the other video that I sent out today on uneven brows. So you want to incorporate them into the design. Now, the protruding forehead situation means that her tattoo is going to be her hair is growing down here. I can see that, okay? We want to get her tattoo on her actual, where it would really be, on a forehead. She has kind of a male sort of brow situation. And what I do with that is this. I place the brow higher up on the actual forehead, and then the client has to keep this area shaved. So there's going to be hair removal involved. Now, so you need to move, when you have a protruding forehead, you need to move the eyebrow, because it's going to be right here. And that's probably why she went to get a tattooed eyebrow in the first place. She didn't like the fact that she had kind of a man's brow down here. So she got these ridiculous little orange brows put in. They weren't orange at the time. I'm sure they were brown. And I don't know, given her skin, which is very porous, the wrinkles are deep, she's not a candidate for microblading.